Okay, so hi everyone. Today we'll be talking about InsurTech. So what is InsurTech really, and why is it that actuarial science students are researching about it or talking about it at all? So InsurTech is insurance plus technology, and actuaries are concerned with insurance all the time. So hence it's InsurTech, and I made this presentation with some of my colleagues whose names are present on whose names you can see right now. That is Jim, Kishore, Xavier, and Lou. They're not here to present today. It'll be just me. So we'll talk about the introduction and what drives the InsurTech innovation, who's funding and what technologies are being used, what challenges are being faced, and the regulations, what are the regulators doing about this, and we'll then quickly just summarize this whole presentation. Okay. Um, so as I said before, InsurTech is insurance plus technology, and there are a lot of startups these days who want to innovate in the insurance industry. The insurance industry is something is a very traditional industry. It has been going on since ages, and you must have heard maybe of the Lloyds of London. These are very traditional people and in a very traditional business. So adding technology to it is something really new and something that everyone is trying to adapt with. So what technology does, it is very obvious. It might squeeze out some efficiencies in the way things are being done. It saves some time, it saves some costs, and hence insurance companies really want to invest in new technologies. We look at what kind of technologies are being used and how it helps everyone, right from the customers to the insurers. So let's talk about how big this market is. The insurance industry, the insurtech industry has been growing, has been booming in the US. Mostly half of the insurtechs are in the US, and then it is followed by the UK and then India and then other countries like Singapore and China. They're involved too. Um, in from 2019 to 2023, an annual growth rate of 41% is what is expected out of the insurtech industry. And just for 2019, it is expected that the insurtech industry will grow by 45%. So what are these drivers? What is driving this insurtech innovation? Firstly, it is the increased investment in this whole technology ecosystem. So I've put here something known as fintech. Fintech is finance plus technology. So anything related to financial services and technology is known as fintech. Laura, I hope you are there with me. If there's any jargon, please let me know.
No, of course I will. Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, so insurers are trying to get as much as they can because there is a lot of investment in fintech, and the same is trying to be replicated in the insurance industry and hence insurtech. There's a lot of intellectual firepower. Uh, we talk about so many technologies these days. We talk about data analytics and uh, and artificial intelligence and machine learning. So all of these things, these are really being applied in the real world to squeeze out a lot of efficiencies and make products better and more competitive. And there are also other factors known as the pull factors that are such as societal changes. There are new types of cars which require insurance, right? Before there were petrol and diesel cars, and now there are electric cars. So it is technology that drives this whole change of how a new insurance can be formed for electric cars, and we don't know, we might even have flying cars, in a few years, and who's going to bring a insurance for them? So insurtech is all about that, and all the insurers are going for the competitive advantage. Everyone wants to enhance the way they are interacting with their customers. They don't want it to be just a one-time thing every year where they are like, hey, you have to pay a premium this year. So they want it to be an experience with the customers. They want to give a good experience. So there's a huge competitive advantage that technology brings in. And there's a lot of back office efficiency because there's a lot of automation that is going on. Less people are required, and a lot of a lot of tasks can now be automated. So yeah, technology is being used there as well. So anything related to insurance where technology is involved is InsurTech. So let's talk about the funding. There's been a lot of funding, as you can see, almost $12 billion in the InsurTech industry. A lot of it, around 7 billion, comes from the US, and there is China with $1 billion, and then $500 million in India. So a lot of money. In just 2019, the first 3 quarters, there was around $4.4 billion raised in the InsurTech industry. And in 2019, there was like a fifth consecutive month with over $1.2 billion worth of funding in InsurTech. Well, we can just imagine how many zeros billions have. So a fifth quarter with over $1 billion is a lot of money. So who are the biggest players in the InsurTech industry? Who are these people who are investing in InsurTech? The biggest players would be reinsurers, because reinsurers are the people who insure insurance companies, and they are the people who take a lot of risks. So they really want everything to be very efficient. They want to be on top of the game. So they are the ones who are investing the most in InsurTech, because they want to use their capital efficiently. They want to make it more competitive, and they want to bridge gaps between the customer and the businesses. So what kind of technologies are InsurTechs using? You must have heard of all of these, right, Laura? Artificial intelligence and machine learning, Internet of Things, drones. So I'll just tell you briefly how these things work. Artificial intelligence could be something like a chatbot used on an insurer's website. They'll tell you that what kind of a policy would suit you, or what kind of a premium could you expect. And then machine learning, it could, because there is so much data available, right, these days. Machine learning would help you analyze that data better and then help give customers a better price. Internet of Things. Laura, have you heard of these black boxes being used in cars these days?
Oh, black boxes, yeah.
Yeah. So they give insurers like real-time information as to how you're driving. If you're a reckless driver, then your insurer knows about it. So they're going to charge you, very high premium next time. Yeah. So, and if you're a good driver, they may charge you less next time. So there is a lot of efficiency that is being increased in that field. And then there are drones being used. Maybe if you are inspecting a fire incident, if and the insurer is giving you some kind of a fire insurance, we don't have to really send humans there and put their life in danger by sending them to hazardous sites. So you can just put drones and they can click pictures and lots of things. So technology is being used by the insurance industry. There are also some challenges when there is technology involved. We can just think of so many things right now at the top of our head as to the challenges with technology. It can be data privacy issues, or so many things like cybersecurity issues and technological failures. What if that black box never works and they don't charge you anything next year? So there are a lot of challenges there, but some challenges for InsurTech startups have also been that traditional insurance companies, they are very reluctant to invest in technology. They might feel like the traditional way is better, and technology might just overcomplicate things. Then there are some expertise that established businesses already have, and it is still necessary, and it requires a lot of human input. It won't be automated so easily now. You still require a lot of human input in it. Something known as underwriting. Laura, underwriting is something that insurance companies do to understand what kind of risks they are going to face. So if I give you a life insurance, I need to know that Laura is going to survive for quite a while, and Laura is not very ill and might, come with a claim tomorrow.
So all those assessments beforehand.
Yeah, so all those assessments, they might still require some kind of human input, although there are technologies that are making the underwriting process a bit easier as well. Then there are a lot of barriers to entry for InsurTech startups, because insurance is very highly regulated, and not everyone can just enter the insurance industry. They might require a significant amount of money to do so, and that might really restrict a lot of companies from innovation and to come in the market, or even a slight fair chance to compete with others. There are a lot of complexities in regulation. So many regulators feel like the telecommunications board should regulate this aspect, or the insurance board should regulate this aspect. So a lot of things need to be figured out by the regulators as to who's going to regulate whom. And the regulators have a lack of expertise in this as well, because technology is booming, but regulators need to catch up with that. So those are some of the challenges for InsurTech. And there are also some changes in regulations. This is one of the most interesting things I came up with my, when I was researching. This is the regulatory sandbox. What is the regulatory sandbox really? It is a place. It is not. It is a safe environment provided by the regulators to some insurtech startups, where they can test their business ideas. They can test their innovative business ideas as to, and they can have some relaxed requirements. They might not have to comply with many. They might not have to bring a lot of capital in, and they might not have to comply with each and every regulation that there is for other insurers who are already established. And this helps limit a lot of consequences of failures, and there are some requirements that will not be relaxed in the regulatory sandbox. These could be relating to data protection policies, or maybe money laundering, or terrorism, or something like that. And so all in all, the regulatory sandbox helps new startups innovate and encourages them to come up with new ideas and bridge the gap between what the consumers want and what the insurers are currently providing them. And it creates a lot of opportunities as well. There's also a bilateral agreement between Australia, the UK, and Singapore, where insurtech startups or fintech startups can test their ideas in each other's markets. So that is something very interesting. And there are also regulatory developments. Even regulators are trying to use technology to help customers remove any risk from the customers, to safeguard the customers. So they use technology for that as well. So if you have a lot of data, say Laura, you're a company and you have a lot of data as to what kind of policies you're selling and everything, there are technologies that will take this data and convert it into reports as to how regulators want it. So yeah, that is RegTech, that is regulation and technology. So these technologies just make it simpler to comply with regulations. And there are a lot of regulations. There are some extremely technical jargons here, like asset under management or audit of algorithms. These are just things that insurance companies need to comply with while they are when they are using insurance, and when they are providing insurance and using technology. So different technologies such as cloud computing, AI, and machine learning are used, and it is used by both companies and regulators. So yeah, that's it. So I'll just quickly summarize what this whole presentation was about. So there is kind of a growing market for InsurTech, but there is also reluctance from a lot of traditional insurers to adopt technology. They want to keep the business as it is. The insurance can adapt to a lot of technologies like artificial intelligence or black box, that is the Internet of Things, and machine learning and drones and a lot of things like that. And it increases efficiencies, but it also brings on a lot of challenges. Like I said earlier, like data protection challenges. It is a high insurance is a highly regulated market, and that's why there might be there are some relaxations from regulators, like in the regulatory sandbox. And regulators are trying to adapt with these technological changes, but they still have a really long road ahead. So all in all, I would say that InsurTech has a very nice future ahead. It is, in fact, technology is going to be a very, very big part of insurance, and it might end up automating a lot of things, and it might remove the human input to a huge extent, and could help us all have better insurance policies, and we might not feel such a big pinch later a few years down the line when we buy an insurance policy. So yeah, that's it from my side, Laura. If you have any questions, please let me know.
Thank you so much. So we are about a 20 to 30-second delay. So if you do have a question, please pop it in the live Q&A part of the chat function, and I'll give it about 30 seconds to see if anyone's written anything. But while we wait, because it is an awkward wait, do you want to tell people what it is you study? So what is actuarial science?
So actuarial science is, it is, trust me, the most difficult question I've been asked on a daily basis. So I would say actuarial science is mostly related to statistics, and it involves risk management, and it uses uh, mathematical formulas and mathematical concepts to predict what will happen a few years down the line, and to make the most of understand the most from future events. Whatever is going to happen later, we try to predict it today. So that is what actuarial science is in a nutshell, and we use maths and stats to we put some crazy formulas, and we come up with a figure that this is the kind of exposure a company has.
I have a feeling we have. Are you still there? We may be having some issues just with the end of that question from but thank you so much for tuning in. If you do submit a question and we haven't answered it yet, I will go back live with later and get the response out to you. But thank you so much. If you are free at 3 o'clock, we have Fran, who is a humanities PGT, telling you about historical dresses and what we can learn from the bodice. So I will see you later.